Doesn't matter how long you have been in the AOT or Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin community, you have probably heard of AOE, Anime Original Ending, and you have probably had some thoughts about AOE in general. So I'm gonna talk about some common misconceptions about AOE. I'm trying to be not very biased. This is what I have been trying on my main channel, the Farsi section too, my main platform. It's not talking about the theories itself, it's talking about what the theories are and try to familiarize you with something that might be cool to know in the months to come, because there is going to be a lot of discussion. And of course, I do believe that there is going to be an AOE. And this video doesn't have any spoilers. It actually kind of does, now that I think about that. I will get into them later, and I will put some parts, some warnings for you anime only people here. So, shuru konیم. The very first thing you probably think about AOE. Hey, AOE people want to change the ending. So no, it's not about changing the ending. What AOE says, Attack on Titan Anime Original Ending, the theories and everything, the main thing is that, hey, there have been enough signs over the years from the very beginning in the manga, from chapter 1 and in the anime, and some inconsistencies and differences in regards to the anime and the manga, that shows us that there are multiple timelines. Does it mean that we are changing, that we want to change the ending? It doesn't mean that. AOE actually accepts the manga ending, the main ending, whatever you want to call it. But what is actually common belief, what is the main structure of this, call us cult or anything you want, is that, hey, so there is a continuation. The anime ending, the manga ending, sorry, is part of a bigger picture, is part of a bigger narrative. And that's the first point that many people miss. I was trying to answer many of the comments under I'm trying to answer all of them under the last video that for some reason got viral, and it's been a bit hard to talk to some people that just don't really want to understand. I mean, it's okay, you don't believe in AOE. It's not about believing it either. You have to see the evidence and stuff. I don't believe in believing in stuff like that. But at the very least, try to understand what it is and then try to debunk it. It's okay, I don't really get triggered that much. In the Farsi part of the anime community, it's much worse, and I'm not talking about AOE. I can't really get triggered by these comments, however negative they are. 3 years in the Farsi, in the Persian anime community, and I've seen stuff, I've been through stuff. This is just child play and stuff for me. So this is the first part. Let's move on to the second point, and this part will have spoilers. I will point them out. We want a good ending. So no, I have some bad news for you. Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin can't have good ending, and you know that too, don't you? Let's go back to Liberio. Let's go even before that, and you can see that there is no good ending. This is the whole point of Isayama's writing. Now, I do understand what some people say, that hey, the manga ending is actually good, why do you want to change it? And I actually do not dislike the manga ending. And this is the point of the common misconceptions. I do not dislike the manga ending, and I actually do enjoy the message it pertains and its sense, let's say, that it has. But when it goes into some of the issues that the ending has, some of the unexplored areas, AOE could actually help a lot on that. And we are not pretty sure what AOE could pertain. I mean, there are theories and stuff, but let's not go into them. And they could still even do something else. We could have the multiple timelines and it could end in some other manner. So yeah, and if you are curious about AOE, there are many good content creators that have made much better videos on this issue, and go check them out. 0K was one of them, and what I think he's not gonna continue working, as I have heard, because of some family issues. So there is no good ending. We do not want a good ending. And this is where it gets into spoiler territory, my other point here. We want Eren to be successful, so no. Actually, if you like Eren, you do know and you do realize that Eren surviving the whole thing, this is the spoilers part, you have been warned. You do know that Eren surviving the rumbling, I mean doing the rumbling and surviving the rumbling, it's not a good thing. It doesn't make him successful. On no account is he successful. There is no successful person in AOT, Shingeki no Kyojin. You have to first understand that. And no, Eren surviving the whole thing, it actually makes it way more sad than Eren dying by Mikasa's hands. Do you know why? Because potentially, as it has been theorized, Eren has to kill Mikasa to actually survive and do the whole full rumbling. Almost everyone in the AOE community I have seen so far is pretty much on the same page that Eren is going to be devastated surviving the thing and killing his friends too. It doesn't really make sense for the people that do not understand AOE to just repeat nonsense about you just want Eren to be happy and successful. There is no happy and successful in Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. It just can't happen, and you know that too. It's impossible. It has been impossible for a while now. So yeah, let's move on to another point. This is the fourth or the fifth point, if I'm not wrong. AOE fans bullied Isayama and sent him death threats and stuff. I do really want to know where this sentiment comes from. It's a fact that Isayama was bullied. And that's a very sad thing that we have to experience in the community and nowadays. But as a person that has been receiving death threats for a long time now, just for the sake of content creating and, for example, criticizing some of the anime that many people like, I do understand how bad it has been, and it is sorry, I just got a little bit emotional here. It's bad. I do still receive the emails. I do still receive them today too. And but it's a different thing. It's about because over at the Farsi community, if you just are interested about my rant, there is a lot of jealousy. And me being the first person that did anime tubing there, and the biggest one at least so far, there are a bunch of jealous people that just decide that yeah, if you are making money out of this and if you are getting fame and stuff out of that, I don't call 15k subscribers fame, but anyway, you must be bullied and we do hate you for that. Yeah. So as a person that has been bullied for the sake of content creation, I do understand how hard and how bad it is. What I do not understand is that how did you connect the dots from AOE people to Isayama being bullied? The thing is, AOE people, there are people, of course, there are people that do not like the manga ending, but when you're part of the AOE community, you are accepting that hey, the manga is part of the story, and then we have AOE. It seems unlikely to me that the very people that have been harassing Isayama, they have been the AOE people, AOE fans, the Hope Chat, let's say, or the doomers in the AOE community. There could be people, I'm sure about that, but I do want to see some concrete evidence of that. I do really want to see that. What I have seen over at the Farsi Spain community, it's a bunch of elitists and people that for some reason think that criticizing Attack on Titan makes them some sort of a special being and person. They have been the forefront of people bullying Isayama. This is what I have seen, personal observations. I'm not gonna generalize everything here. I do want to see concrete evidence. If you do have them, leave them in the comments. I do like to see that how the AOE community has bullied Isayama. But I would try to not make that connection. At least if there is not concrete evidence. And I do not understand the point of people that are so into Isayama's work, because you do not probably understand AOE community. The AOE community is so obsessed with Isayama's work that doesn't let it just rest in peace if it's ended, let's say. They do delve deeper and deeper, and everyone in the AOE community is actually betting on the fact that Isayama is a genius. If Isayama is a genius, and this is a sentiment that AOE people believe, how on earth would they be bullying Isayama? I do really not understand this point, and it doesn't make any sense. The next point is that if Isayama or Mappa makes AOE goes anime original ending, it's because of peer pressure and people bullying them into doing that. So I have some bad news for you. The first thing about AOE, when you get into the community, you get into the theories and stuff, and the hard evidences that there are many artistic choices that cannot be explained, be it Berserk Eren, be it the first dialogue, the see you later part, that somehow got integrated into this part and could potentially also mean that we are getting the manga one or the anime original thing. I made a video on that, I will expand on that later on. Is that hey, it is impossible for Isayama and Mappa, if they go anime original ending, to get bullied into doing that, to get peer pressure into doing that, because the theories are here. The vast majority of the Attack on Titan Shingeki no Kyojin fandom doesn't even realize there is AOE. Main point of me actually trying to make videos in English, I wanted to do something else starting here, but it ended up being Attack on Titan here. AOE, most specifically. It doesn't make any sense, does it? You do have the evidences dating back from 2013. So, care to explain how, if they're going to do that, they have been all of them just doing everything and leaving the hints and stuff way back, and now getting peer pressure? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense. You could actually say that everything was an artistic choice and they just decided to go along with the flow and make anime original. That's possible, but I'm gonna be honest, that's not very possible. Maybe I'm being biased because I like AOE. I'm a supporter myself. The last point I have here is that it's all speculation and theorizing. So, okay, this is a tricky one, and I do understand where it comes from. Look, I just got into the AOE community myself. It hasn't been that long. It hasn't even been more than 1 month now, I guess. And I did that on the insistence of my audience. I used to think that, holy crap, this must be done, because I actually like the manga ending. I'm gonna make a video on that, just my opinion, just my honest opinion on that. There are many analyses that are way better than anything I could actually do. So here's the thing. Many of the things you see in AOE. Many of them are wild speculations and theories, yes. But as I said in the other video, in the last 2 or 3 videos, and I pointed out, there are major deviations that doesn't actually make much sense unless there is an AOE. And I do understand where many of you are coming from. Many of the things about the lyric of the songs and some of the symbolism that we see on these issues on AOE, many of them are possibly wild speculation, my opinion. There are a bunch of theories on them, there are many works on being done on them, many people, many good people have done their research. It goes into Nordic and Greek mythology. I'm talking about, for example, the 4 seasons thing with Ymir and Historia and stuff like that. It could be a possible reach. I can understand why many of you people would have like their guards on and they wouldn't be like very happy to see and very convinced seeing them. But do know that there are many things that you can't even explain unless you say, hey, artistic choice. And you could say that many of them are coincidences, but I do remind you that a lot of coincidences stop being coincidences altogether. But I do understand the sentiment. I do understand why many people are not very happy with many parts of the theories, because yeah, many of them are wild, and many of them, when it goes into the part of Akatsuki no Requiem, the music video in itself being like the weirdest piece of media that is actually an official one, there is no explanation for that except the theories. And here, when we go deeper into what we have, it gets a bit tricky, because everything you have on the part of the theories could be true but could not be true at the same time. But many of the hard evidences, as I said, and I'm repeating that again, they can't really explain it, can they? And that's what makes it into a tricky situation. This is why I ask my audience, at least, that try to, when talking to people that are not into AOE, try to not present them with the wild ideas, with the wild theories that, hey, they could be awesome if they're actually real and everything. But there is the issue, the potential issue, that many people would just get away and like run away from AOE. And it kind of makes sense from my standpoint that they would do that, or you would do that. It doesn't make that much sense to just start with the wild theories. Just use the hard evidences, anything we have, the major deviations in the manga and the anime. And this is all I had to say on this issue. I do not remember any more points. And I do like to repeat, guys, this is about having fun, theorizing and stuff. Didn't you like doing, like, having wild fantasies as a kid? I don't see anything wrong with that. The bunch of trolls that appeared and a bunch of no-lifers that started insulting and stuff, I said it before, I'm gonna repeat that again. It doesn't really hurt me coming from the mess that is the Farsi community, but I do realize that many of the YouTubers, many of the content creators, many of the users on the subreddits, many of the people actually that are having their own fun in the AOE community, they would be utterly disappointed or potentially depressed because of the treatment you are giving them, and that's not nice. What's happening, what I see, is that people from supposedly the AOT community being harsh on the AOE community. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense, does it? You do like the manga ending. I do like the manga ending with all its inconsistencies and problems, and I wouldn't be disappointed if they made it the only ending, because it also goes along with Isayama's nihilistic view of the world, and I'm gonna delve into that later on in another video. But I do not understand why you are trying to make it hard for people that are enjoying something in their own community. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Just stop being trolls, man. I was one of the people making fun here and there and stuff like that. It's pointless. It doesn't really make much sense, and you're not having fun. The people making the theories are having fun. Like, you go into this part of the AOE, of the Attack on Titan community, that is the AOE community. It's a bunch of people going through every single piece of media they have from Shingeki no Kyojin and Isayama's work that they are supposedly bullying, and they're trying to get deeper meaning into what he has. It could be overanalyzing, yes, but they are having their own fun. I do understand the internet culture of actually not letting people have their own fun, but I do not understand you people, AOT fans, doing that. I do understand some kinds of elitists and shit like that doing that. So I would just probably ask you to be a little bit more reasonable and either join in on the fun, or if you want to debunk them, do not do it with insults and stuff. Just be a man. Be a man. Be like, hey, yeah, what you said doesn't make any sense. This and that. And yeah, this is what I had to say about this issue. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as we say in Farsi, Shabatum Bakhair.